Hey everybody, I got a fun little video for you today in anticipation of the new Candyman, which hits theaters tomorrow on Friday, August 27th. Last week there was a pop-up activation for Candyman in Chicago, and horror fans came from all over to experience it, including a bunch of Dead Meat fans. Universal was awesome enough to film and edit that experience, which you'll see in just a second. And after that, you can watch an interview I did with the star of the new Candyman, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. We actually filmed it about a year ago, right before I moved, but I held on to the footage as the film's release date was delayed. So enjoy this video of the Candyman experience in Chicago, and after that, an interview with Yahya.
This is the middle of Chicago, and Candyman started in Chicago. So let's be honest, this is exciting. I decided to stop.
I happened to walk by and see this booth. I've actually seen the old movie, and I couldn't pass up seeing what was inside the box.
Candyman. The urban legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you. You should say his name. I dare you. I heard you're looking for Candyman.
I'm coming from about 2 hours south. James Janice from Dead Meat told me to come.
I heard about it from the Dead Meat channel. I watch Dead Meat all the time.
I'm also a fan of Dead Meat.
Dead Meat.
Dead Meat.
Dead Meat. I saw it on Dead Meat James's channel, and I was like, we gotta go.
I was the first screamer of the day. It was so scary. We're about to get scared.
Wait, don't push me. No, I don't want to. You have to. No, you have to. Wait, stop. Okay, it's fine.
I was expecting to be scared going in, but I was not expecting for him to be as afraid as he was since he pushed me in front of everything.
Allegedly, yeah.
That was interesting.
We still haven't found any evidence, but yeah.
There's cameras in there. We know what it is.
It's real intense in there, and then Candyman pops up through the mirror and scares the crap out of you.
Candyman! Scared the heck out of us going in there. Then this thing popped up. I'm screaming to the top of my lungs.
Candyman was gonna get us.
Okay. All right. But I'm like, oh, I gotta get out of here, else I'm gonna have to get it depends.
Literally, as soon as the lights cut, I knew I was in trouble, and then I hit the panic button to leave.
It was suspenseful. You don't know what you're walking into in there.
Made my heart jump.
Candyman.
If you think about evilness, and when you come to Chicago, Candyman is probably gonna be one of those things that pop up.
What separates Candyman is the fact that it actually has a really interesting historical story.
It does tackle race in such a nuanced way. I think it's pretty good.
You get to see a black man looking like me be up in the spotlight like that. The first movie literally talked about stuff that people were too afraid to talk about / even think about.
It bringing together all these elements of what's going on in real time, there really needs to be continuation of the stories of racism in America and bringing awareness to that. I would like to see Jordan Peele's twist on it, because he has a very interesting mind.
So I'm excited to see Nia DaCosta's work. What someone who's kind of honed in as much as she is wants to tackle and change about the first story while still making race a big factor in it. I know there's police brutality to talk about it.
Reality of it in comparison to other horror films.
It's just scary. It's a scary concept. It's a scary idea.
Tell people they have any heart problems. Take care of that first. Take your medicine.
Someone just screamed. Oh my God, someone just screamed really loud.
That was bad. That was terrifying. I thought it was soundproof, but that makes me real self-conscious that people could have heard my scream. Dead Meat James, I'm a huge fan of yours.
So hi James, if you're watching.
What's up, James?
Hi James, how are you?
Big fan of your channel, dude. James and Chelsea, I'm sad you couldn't be here today, but I'm glad I found out about this, and I'm excited to see the movie.
Say it, I dare you.
Candyman.
Candyman. Candyman.
Candyman has this beautiful gothic horror to him. He's a romantic. I love that about him, and he's kind of sexy.
Candyman. Candyman. If you ain't been in there, don't go in there.
I was scared. I was like...
Say
Candyman.
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 Hey, Yahya. Thanks a lot for making the time to talk to me, man. How's it going?
I'm all right, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And thanks for the pronunciation, too. That's pretty dope.
Oh, absolutely. I always try my best to get it right. So, the original Candyman is one of my absolute favorite horror movies of all time. And I was curious, how familiar with it were you before being cast in the remake?
I got familiar with it during the process of filling out the movie. I grew up knowing about the legend of Candyman. I think that was one of the first sort of scary games that I played, and I remember, from my childhood, I remember the iconic film moments from Candyman. I remember the hook. I remember the guy with the shot when he opened his mouth and the bees come out. I remember the shot of opening up his jacket and you can see the rib cages and the bees and things like that. But for me, the legend of Candyman was not based on a movie. It was something that was real because we took the folklore and the stories from the film and we played it in real life, and that's where the threat and the idea of Candyman was most palpable for me growing up. The folklore really took a life of its own.
You've been in all sorts of genres of movies, from musicals to dramas to superhero movies, of course. Are there any unique challenges in approaching a horror movie, or do you approach it just like any other role?
It's interesting. I think I like to first approach it and look for the acting opportunities. Although we deal with some elements of supernatural, he's not like Black Manta. He's not like a Dr. Manhattan. Anthony was a real person. Anthony was the first time that I played like just a regular dude on a Tuesday with a problem in a very long time. Now, the thing about being in a horror movie is that you have to allow yourself to be in a horror movie. As a performer, you just can't take yourself too seriously. You have to lean into the fun, the imagination of the circumstances. I would say do your work as an actor and then get over yourself and go in and have some fun too, because it's not all serious. It's fun and it's excitement and it's an adventure. At least it should be all at the same time.
And this isn't your first horror movie either, because you had a role in Jordan Peele's Us.
It's true. I was sort of eased in. Working in Jordan's landscape, what's so awesome is that he gives you the opportunity to do a little bit of both. You can definitely do those horror elements, but if you're a straight actor or a classical actor or whatever type of performer you consider yourself to be, I think there's a space to do some naturalistic performance and things like that as well.
Yeah, and Jordan Peele serves as a producer on the Candyman remake coming up. How did you initially meet and begin working with Jordan Peele?
The first time I met Jordan Peele was on the audition for Get Out, and I auditioned for that, and we talked about different roles, in that film. I was a young actor, up and coming, and I think he sort of had his eye on me, so I got the invitation to come and play a part in Us. And for me, that was really about going and playing, reconnecting with Jordan and reconnecting with Winston and Lupita and Lizzie Moss, who I knew from my little turn on The Handmaid's Tale. And so that was just really like a little small artist reunion. And on that job, he said, I really want to find something for you to do. And a year later, or maybe 2 years later, I forget now, I got the phone call that said, hey, there's this opportunity to do something called Candyman that I'm working on. And I said, oh, wow, that's very interesting. I want to know more.
That's awesome, especially that he sought you out for the role in Us. That's such a high compliment.
Yeah, it is, especially coming from someone like him. When he has your trust, that means a lot. A lot of that has to do with how I got into the seat right now. The other half of that is the meetings that I had with our amazing director, Nia DaCosta. I sat down and we talked about her vision for the film and her love for filmmaking and for storytelling and for the horror genre. And then I saw her film Little Woods, and I was sold after I left out of Little Woods because I saw what she could do with her writing and her storytelling and how she created suspense with such small moments. And I said, okay, well, I definitely want to stay around this person to see what else she can do.
Oh man, that's such a good point with the ability to create suspense out of little moments, not just big ones, because I think it's easy to maybe be attracted to the big showy moments in a horror movie or a superhero movie or anything like that. And I think that the thing that makes you really remember a movie and a movie stick with you is those little moments and making the most out of those.
Those little moments, yeah, that make you kind of hold your breath because you don't know what is behind that door.
If you could star or even just act in any other horror movie remake, do you have any ideas of what that could be? Are you a big horror movie fan?
I never have been. No, I was always, I never imagined that I would act in a horror movie. And Jordan came along with some opportunities. He came along and he really changed my perception, not necessarily of horror movies, but my perception of where my place would be in a horror movie when he brought out Get Out. And then obviously I participated in Us. I was always the guy who would go to the scary movies and I was never the guy who would cross my arms, but I got a lot of enjoyment in saying, I'm not gonna jump, they're not gonna get me. And I went through so many movies for years where I did not jump. And now that I'm thinking about it, it was like, you know, I kind of said, well, for what? You know, you kind of just, you want to lean into the experience and really have that, right?
Well, it's good to hear that you learned to let your guard down.
Yeah. Enjoy it, you know, enjoy it a little bit. You can't be too protective because you miss the full experience.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today, Yahya.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your time.
Really looking forward to Candyman. Thank you.
Appreciate you. All the best.
All right. Thanks again to Yahya for that interview, Universal for that sweet interactive experience, and all you little meaties for tuning in and watching this. Be sure to check out the all-new Candyman in theaters tomorrow, Friday, August 27th. As always, I'll have to wait for a home video release to do a kill count on it. But in the meantime, I'm James A. Janice. Be good people.
Hey everybody, this is James later on than the James you were watching earlier, and I just want to reiterate how awesome it was that so many of you came out to Chicago and said that you were there because of me. That makes me feel so cool, and I hadn't really seen all of that footage before I filmed that, so I didn't properly convey how fucking awesome it was to just hear everyone say that they were there for Dead Meat James and the kind things they said about me and Chelsea and the channel. I didn't want this video to end without me directly acknowledging that and saying how great it makes me feel. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next video.